Hi, I'm Robbie and we're farming here at Inverdovat farm in North Fife. I'm farming in partnership with my brother Stephen and my parents Russell and Hilary. They've been here since 1997. Over the last 23 years the farm has expanded to covering over 1,000 hectares. Most of this is cereals. There's also 150 hectares of potatoes for the pre-pack market, which are marketed through the Scottish Potato Co-op.
We've always been keen on adopting new technology. As soon as we could do soil mapping and variable spreading of NP and K, we got involved in that. And also when GPS came along, we recognised that it enhances the use of both efficiency and the time of the staff. In the present day, there's always an increasing demand for data, whether it's for our assured produce or SQC or the supermarkets. And we're looking at ways to do this in a simpler and cheaper way. And we think that digital farming can bring this out for us. Over the last year, obviously the biggest impact has been on the COVID and the Brexit. The climate change and sustainable farming is going to be the big watchword and what we're going to have to keep up to date with. And this is where the data collection can help us a lot. It's not carbon in farming that's the issue, it's more the nitrous oxide. And we're going to have to be able to time our applications of nitrogen better, and we're sure that these tools that we're using are going to help us do that.
Currently on the farm we have temperature monitors in the cold store, temperature monitors on the grain piles. We also have 6 moisture probes for just telling us the soil moisture and soil temperature. We have 2 tractor trackers. We have 2 lone worker alarms, both fitted to myself and brother Stephen, and we have the weather station as well. The biggest benefit we've found in the last year are from the grain sensors and from the cold store sensors. Currently we have 3 main sites across the farm, and to monitor both these 3 units, it's a 40-mile round trip. So by having the sensors in place, we're hoping that we could reduce the time spent doing this, and hopefully seeing a problem a lot quicker than what we might do on our regular checks. The cold store in year 1, we've actually seen a big difference between the front of the shed and the back of the shed. So we've already adjusted the temperature to try and make the temperature colder at the front of the shed. So potentially by seeing that the shed's actually different at the front and the back, we've now changed the way we're shifting these potatoes out of the shed. Instead of taking a single row at a time based on what the field is, the shed's been filled from front to back. The grain sensors for us, the big thing was the travelling. You know, having the Ross farmsteading about a 15-minute drive away, and we don't know what's happening. So just having the ability to go on your phone and check the temperature of that grain without having to drive there was going to be a huge benefit. We can also change how the fans are running to better cool the grain when it's at its coldest. So by putting the grain sensors in place, we've replaced the old system, which was having wires over the heap, and we're climbing through the grain regularly to keep an eye on these. And now the signal is straight to the phone or the dashboard, and it's also set off with alarms. If the temperature goes above a certain level or below, I'm getting alerts to my phone, which is obviously very useful. One of the biggest challenges of the last year has not been the sensors themselves, but it was purely COVID. It was unfortunate for the project that we couldn't get to where we wanted to be in the 12 months period, just purely on the delays and deliveries that we were all trying to get at that time. But I think what we've done the last 12 months has been beneficial. We're showing everything's working and everything's doing what it's supposed to. Hopefully we get a chance to do this in year 2 and we can carry on and make use of the sensors more. Using the app at the moment is good for alerting us if there's a problem. You know, if this cold store was having a power cut and the temperature was to increase, the phone would tell us immediately rather than seeing it just on our routine checks. And it would also tell us on the dashboard by just seeing the constant variation in the temperature. So they both currently have their uses. All margins in farming are now getting tighter and tighter. So if these sensors just bring, a small percentage increase in what we're doing, they're going to bring a huge benefit. If these sensors are telling us that there's a problem immediately, rather than us finding out 3 or 4 days late, there's a huge benefit there. We've got that peace of mind now. We're not as concerned about our crop in store.
The lone worker is very important to us as well, because having 3 sites, it's good to know that they're safe, and we know when they return to the farm because of the tracker on the tractor, and they've helped us a lot.
I think a huge barrier that we have to get our heads around is probably the cost that is potentially involved in these sensors. Obviously we know the cost, but we also need to find out if there's going to be a return from these sensors, and the only way we're going to find out is through projects like ours and the other 2 farms that are getting carried out at the moment. And then this will give farmers hopefully the encouragement they need to use these tools